Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dean Mitchum, and today I'm going to give you the 3 phases of a songwriting process. Now, I've been writing songs for a long time, and my first song was about 12 years old. So well over 40 years now I've been writing songs, and I've realized that all my songs seem to travel through this process. And there's 3 phases in this process that I want to give you. So part of that is understanding the phases is going to give you confidence to know where your song is at, so you don't get stuck in your writing. And when you understand those 3 phases, then you'll know where your song is at. And when you know where your song is in this process, then you'll probably better understand what to do to move your song along to the next phase and to get that song finished. Because really, the reason we write songs is because we want people to be blessed. We want to bless the Lord. We want people to declare His word. Worship songs, that's what we want to do. So we want to give them something they can use. So here we go. Now, before I get into phase 1, I did want to give you a song definition. And this is real simple. You can look it up. It is this: a musical and emotional journey that leads to a satisfying end. We've all experienced that. Oh man, that was good. Emotional song. We got to participate with it as a song, sang along with it, and it was good. And took us to a journey and brought us home. So what I like to say about worship songs is it's a musical and emotional spiritual journey that leads to a kingdom satisfying end. So most songs that I've written in my life have been worship songs. Now I've written songs, contemporary Christian style songs, Southern gospel style songs. But most of the songs that I've written have been with the mind of worship, that people would engage in singing these songs. So the first phase of the songwriting process is what I call the inspiration phase. And that's pretty obvious, right? You're inspired. And it's also could be called the idea phase. It's when you get an idea to write a song. So inspiration can come at any time. It can come at any moment, at any place. And that's the part that we need to realize, is that if we know that inspiration can happen anytime, then it's always best to have a plan to capture that inspiration. So inspiration, sermons, driving, listening to something on the radio, walking, anytime, any place, inspiration can come. This is the phase where it really costs you nothing, other than maybe a little bit of organization to capture your ideas. But inspiration is free. What I want you to fully understand is the difference between inspiration and creativity. And here's the way I like to put it. Inspiration can come at any time, but creativity requires an appointment. So inspiration is what comes to you. Creativity is what comes from you. You're going to have to put time into doing that. And that's the next phase. But in the first phase, inspiration, having that clarity between inspiration and creativity takes a lot of the burden, a false burden, off of how you're going to write songs. So inspiration is really the first phase. And we want you to understand how powerful that is. I mean, you can, ideas pop into your head. Yeah, all right, I got an idea. What do I do with it? Well, eventually I'm going to work on it. That's where the next phase comes into play. So in the inspiration process, there's 4 things that will help you work with the inspiration, okay? And that is look for it. Always look for inspiration. Expect it. You can get it anywhere, all right? Many times I've gotten ideas when I wasn't really prepared for it, but it came. And so I realized over time that I need to be prepared for that. So look for it. Always have a heart of expectation when it comes to inspiration. Secondly, in the inspiration phase is capture it. In the old days, we'd write notes. If there's a lyric and if it was a recording, we'd try to grab a recorder, some type, some play, and record what we did. So make sure you can capture it, especially if it's a melody or a riff or something like that you couldn't play. You want to sing it and grab it, okay? And then you want to guide your inspiration. Put it in the realm of where God wants you to use it best. And then you want to apply it by turning it into a song. And one idea can give you several songs. It doesn't have to be limited to one song. But an idea sometimes is a musical phrase. It's also a beat. It's also a chord progression. It's also words. So understanding the inspiration phase really sets you up to, hey, this is where I'm going to capture all my ideas. And this is where I'm going to have my songs that I pull from. This section, if you had a visual of it, looks like a stack. All right. All these ideas stacked up that you're going to work on. And so understanding that process is great. And here's why. Because we want to go to the next phase. And inspiration is the collection process. That means we're going to collect our ideas and then pick one and take it to the next phase, which is the realization phase. So let's talk about the realization. The realization phase is where you bring something into reality. All right. So that means you write it, you produce it, you record it, you write a screenplay, whatever it is you do, you got to bring it into reality. An artist paints on a canvas. Otherwise, we'd never see what's in their head. Songwriters need to put into music what the idea is in their heart, or else we'll never hear it. So here's the thing about inspiration to realization. If you don't go to work on the idea, it's as if you never had the idea. You don't value that idea. So the second phase is what we call the realization phase. This is where the work occurs. And there's 4 things in a song that get created in this process or in this phase. And those 4 things are lyrics, melody, chords, and rhythm. Every song has these. So you may not write all of those, but these are the sections that get created or added to a song once you take it out of the inspiration phase. So the phrases I like to say are simple. Say it. What are you telling in this message? What lyrics of value are you going to use to bring this song into life? This is where you put work into it. You can say things and go back later and reword them. But in this process, you're going to take time. See, when I meant earlier by creativity requires an appointment, you're going to have to schedule time to create your song. Creativity is the work of a person, the work of the Lord going through us. Inspiration can come from anywhere. I've been asked to write songs, kind of mentioned this earlier. So inspiration is already there, but you take that idea and you put it into work, which is the realization phase. So what are the 4 things that you're going to do? You're going to put together lyrics. You're going to say it. You're going to put together melody so you can sing it. And you're going to put together chords so musicians can play it. And you're going to put together rhythm off of that, a style of the music that people can feel the heartbeat and passion of that song. So you want to make sure that you cover all those bases in the realization phase. So if the inspiration phase is a stack of ideas, then the realization phase is a broad workbench where you're going to pull out one song, and you're going to work on that one song. Now you may stop working that song, put it aside, pull out another song, but the workbench really only needs one song at a time so you can complete it. So when you go to work creatively, you go to work. All right. It's not some la-la land but process of creativity takes effort, and you can make that happen by scheduling your time to be creative. Don't look at creative as something elusive. Inspiration is kind of that way, or not elusive, but like the wind, it can come at any time. You feel the wind, you want to make sure you capture that inspiration. So back into the creative phase. This requires work. So you want to make sure that you set time to be creative. And sometimes 2 hours a week, 5 hours a week, whatever it is that you can come up with to be creative. If you make an appointment with yourself, you will find that you can produce. You will find that you can create. So we want to make sure that we understand these sections. So there's a difference between working on your song and getting a song idea. I think I've probably over-explained that, so sorry if I did. Just helping you understand those phases. So within the creative phase, the work phase, that's where the effort is put, which takes us to the next phase. So the next phase of the songwriting process is presentation. This is when it's time for someone to hear your song. Now, if inspiration is free and if creativity costs you time, then presentation will cost you guts. All right. You got to have the guts to share your song with somebody to hear it. This can be a very intimidating thing. It sometimes doesn't get any easier, but it doesn't have to be. You have to have courage to let someone hear your song. Why? Because you're not getting any better if you don't let someone hear your song. And the reason they want to hear it is so they can sing it or play it or receive from it, especially if it's a worship song. You want to put that in a place where people can use it to worship God, to bless the Lord, to come into agreement. So the presentation phase is when you want someone to hear your song. Now you may be a co-writer, collaborator. You're going to have someone bouncing off. But if you're a single writer, you're going to need to have someone here and get some input as you grow in your songwriting process. Now, my wife and I, we've written several songs together. A lot of songs we've done together. But my wife, Lisa, is the first person that will hear a song I'm writing. If I'm working on it by myself, she's the first person, and she's valuable in so many ways. No one's, she's going to give me any fluff. She's going to tell me the truth about the song. So, and she understands music, so that's an extra value. She understands melody and lyrics and the power of those two. Now, she doesn't play an instrument, so she can hear. So if I play chords and she likes them, she can have input on that. Okay, but here's the thing. You want to present it, first of all, to a person, someone you trust. They can give you feedback on it. Are your lyrics clear? Can they understand what you're trying to say? Is the melody within a range they can enjoy? You know, not too high, not too low. That has to do with key, but the writing of the range from the low note to the high note. Is it in a range that they can sing? Things like this you want to consider. So presentation starts with a person. And if you're on a worship team or have a group of friends, you may want to go to the next level. Okay, my personal presentation, they liked it. What about a team? What about a worship team? You know, present it to the worship leader or the music director and have some input on that song. Is this something that's going to work in the congregation? And so from that, you take it public. All right, you try it in worship, or you try it in a setting that's public. And I like to work hard on my songs before I take them to the public presentation, so that it doesn't ever feel or sound like it's unfinished. But I've had songs that I've taken to the public that I thought were finished, didn't work, and I didn't know why. You know, I didn't know beforehand it wasn't going to work, but as I engaged it, I thought, okay, I have to take that song back. So in the presentation phase, you're going to have to show it, test it, refine it, and then live with it. All right. Bring that song to a point where it's finished. You've worked on it, you spent the time on it, and now you take it to the finish phase and you put it in your catalog. So if the inspiration phase is like a stack and the creative phase is like a workbench, then your presentation phase is like a catalog. Okay, that's where all your finished songs rest. Now, you're going to go in there temporary in the first three phases, which is show it, test it, refine it. Once you do that, it goes into live with it. All right. That's a song you've written. That's a song you've finished, and be proud that you've accomplished something. Then you get better as you write more songs. So the bottom line is this. Every song you write is going to pass through these three phases, and that is inspiration, realization, and presentation. The whole purpose of this is to not get lost in that process. So this creativity and inspiration, it can go haywire on you. So what are we doing? We're trying to harness all of this stuff, so to speak, so we can organize into productivity and get songs finished. Because I want to write songs that people sing. I want to write songs that people can engage with. I don't want a whole bunch of things over here that people never can hear and never can participate with. So in that process, take yourself and set yourself free. Just know that some of your songs are in the stack. Some of your songs are on the workbench. Some of your songs are in the presentation and the catalog. And keep capturing those ideas. If you capture a lot of ideas, you're going to have a lot of songs to write from. So, hey, thanks for watching today. If you'd like more videos like this, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.